We think it's pretty safe to say that Indy May and Riot May are as close as two babies can get without being twins and without being daughters to the same mother. Riot's mom, Corey Struve Talbot, and Indy's mom, Katie Struve Morgan, both knew that they were pregnant about 2 weeks in separation from each other, and 9 amazing months later, they were both giving birth to Indy and Riot in the same neighborhood hospital rooms at the same precise time. Crazy, right? Now, the girls are just 1 year old and they couldn't be closer. They're already showing signs of a lifelong bond that is usually only seen in twins. It's only logical for Indy and Riot to be very close because their moms, Corey and Katie, are sisters. They called themselves as Sticky Sisters as a joke because their bond has been very close since they were born. Now the idea is to perpetuate that tradition of closeness in their adorable daughters, who they call in loving manner twin cousins. When they knew they were pregnant at the same time, they agreed that it had to be celebrated. That's why Corey and Katie had a double maternity shoot in matching incredible turquoise dresses back in 2016, because why not? Then they recently recreated the photo shoot as a suggestion from their photographer. The results are lovely. Corey spoke about what it's like to go through a wild experience of pregnancy alongside a sibling and close friend, and how her daughter Riot and niece Indy are already bonded for life. When asked about the wild experience of pregnancy alongside a sibling and a close friend, she says that they didn't plan it at all, it just happened. She told the news that a couple of months before Christmas 2015, she was feeling the symptoms of pregnancy, and her sister told her to take a pregnancy test. It was positive, and her sister just a few minutes later said that she was pregnant too. She was going to surprise the family and told her that they could do it together. Imagine the shock. Initially, the sisters were weeks apart, and Corey was going to be a repeat C-section. She had her due date around the 10th of August, and the C-section was scheduled for 2 weeks later. So imagine her surprise when her sister was about to deliver Indy and she went into labor. They had the same trusted doctor, and he told them that it was okay for Corey to come in either way. She was going to see her sister, and they'd take the opportunity to check if she was in labor. If she was, he was going to do her C-section that same day. It was precisely the case. They ended up doing Corey's C-section, and as they were on it, the nurses came rushing in and took the doctor away. He had to run to catch her niece, Indy. Her sister delivered her daughter just 15 minutes before. They had the same hospital, same doctor, and ended up having 2 rooms which were right next to each other, rooms 2209 and 2210. The cousins had little hospital cribs next to each other too. Regarding what it felt like, the sisters say that it was one of the greatest things that they've ever experienced, and they still can't believe how lucky they were. They had moral support through the pains, gaining weight, and aches. According to them, it made the whole experience much more bearable. The other great things are that their husbands also have a great relationship, and they got to complain and bug them as they wished. Now they just can't imagine being pregnant without each other. And the companionship didn't end after the cousins were born. The recovery process was nicer than a regular one because they were able to share and know what they were going through. Riot had trouble breastfeeding, and her sister made too much milk, so it was a match made in heaven. Her sister helped her with milk supply and to build her supply up. This meant the world to her, and she says she'll always be grateful for it. Regarding the names, they were also coordinated. Riot May and Indy May, the twin cousins, have been inseparable since day one, and they already have such a cute bond. They're almost like twins, and they act and react to each other in a way that leaves everyone speechless. They've often also done new things on the same day. It's like they copy each other. They love hanging out in the playpen together, and they have no problem sharing snacks. The baby talk they do is heartwarming, and they're just the best. Their photographer, who took the original pregnancy photos, had a great idea: to wear the same dresses and do a remake. They had the crowns and the dresses ready to go, and it turned out cuter than they thought it was going to turn out, and the girls had a blast. They recently celebrated the girls' first birthday and made a joke that they're going to do those photos every year, at least until they turn 18 and they don't want them anymore. The girls are going to start school together and be emotional support for their entire lives. They're really like twin sisters. Don't you agree?